Munroe Falls regular council meeting, Tuesday, February 18th, 7 o'clock. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steve Stahl.
Here.
John Hancock.
Here.
Mike Barnes. Bob Pitts. Here. Jim Owen.
Here.
Gary Cook.
Here.
Sam Busey.
Here. I'd like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Barnes.
Second.
Mr. Stahl.
Yes.
Mr. Owen.
Yes.
Mr. Busey.
Yes.
Mr. Hancock.
Yes.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Mr. Pitts.
Yes. Okay, we need to have approval of minutes from regular council meeting held Tuesday, February 4th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
I'm good.
Good. No.
Munroe, that's right.
Let's just vote.
Mr. Busey.
Yes.
Mr. Owen.
Yes.
Mr. Hancock.
Yes.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Mr. Stahl.
Yes.
Mr. Pitts.
Yes.
Okay, we need approval of minutes for the special council meeting held Tuesday, February 4th, 2014.
So moved. Second.
I do have one minor correction.
Go ahead.
Very last page, they misspelled the producing statement. 1, 2, 3, fourth line down. Mr. Stahl moved upon nominations be closed. Mr. I pronounced it mistake.
Typo.
Just a typo. Exchange the C and the S. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stahl. Mr. Beal?
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Mr. Hancock.
Yes.
Mr. Pitts.
Yes.
Mr. Stahl.
Yes.
Mr. Owen.
Yes.
Mr. Busey.
Yes.
Okay, reports of officials. Start with the mayor's report. Mayor Larson.
Good evening. This evening I'm going to give you a state of the city. I gave this same address at lunch at the Munroe Falls Stowe Chamber of Commerce meeting. As I enter the 10th year of being mayor of Munroe Falls, I'm proud to say that the state of the city is strong and healthy. Safety and welfare of the residents is always my highest priority. The city is comprised, as you know, of 4 departments: the administration, police, fire, EMS, and the service department. To reach our goal of providing the best services to our residents, it takes a combination effort of everyone working together. Safety being the highest priority is provided by 3 of the 4 departments. Former Fire Chief Jim Bowery now heads up the service department. Without maintaining and upgrading the infrastructure, responding to emergency situations would be very difficult for the other departments. In the winter, I am always astonished by the number of people that don't live in Munroe Falls that comment on how great a job Munroe Falls does in clearing the roads from the snow. The service department is also responsible for the water distribution system that provides the residents with great tasting, safe water at reasonable cost. To maximize the cost benefit and reduce inconvenience to residents, we yearly analyze and then coordinate road work with water line replacement. After this winter, for sure, we will review the water lines that broke and the streets that heave and change our priorities if necessary. The service department also maintains the land and the buildings owned by the city. The fire and EMS roster under Chief Lee Chafin consists of 11 paramedics, 2 advanced EMTs, and 7 EMTs, providing EMS services to 554 incidences in 2013, with an average response time of 3 minutes, 22 seconds. The 99 fire calls in 2013 had an average response time of 3 minutes and 19 seconds. This is compared to cities around us of 5 to 10, 15 minutes. Fire and EMS received a grant of $125,265 from Homeland Security in the state of Ohio to purchase 5 AEDs and 3 15-lead life pack monitors for the EMS squads. The automatic defibrillators are located in the first responder vehicles, Later Community Center, Guys Park Lodge, City Council chambers, and the police cars. With the new life pack monitors in our EMS vehicles, City Hospital asked our EMS personnel to be part of the original team in a research program aimed at decreasing the time a person having a heart attack is transported and treated in the cath lab. Because of that program, the national average of 90 minutes from onset to cath lab has now been cut to 75 minutes. And our EMS crew averages 44 minutes. So they've cut the time for a person having a heart attack in Munroe Falls in half by the time they get to the in and out of the cath lab. Plans for the 2014 include increased staffing to assure even faster times in the police department or the fire department. The police department is made up of 4 full-time officers, 10 part-time officers, 1 K-9, and 16 reserve officers under Chief Tom Boza. Last year, the reserve officers volunteered 2,038 hours of service, doing 928 vacation checks, 298 welfare checks, neighborhood patrols, traffic duty for special events, and standing out in the rain directing traffic at intersections when the power went out. The reserve officers also delivered 12 Thanksgiving baskets provided by the Scissors Group and their customers, and turkeys from Giant Eagle on 59. Also, I'd like to mention a special thanks to Thompson Electric, Langer Screw Company, and Kramer Realty for making Shop with a Cop a great Christmas for 9 children from Munroe Falls. And we look forward to working with our business community again in 2014 with these outreach programs. Also in 2014, we hope to see the Police Academy resume, the possibility of bike patrols in some of the neighborhoods, and an increase in officer training. Of course, all these services cost money, and without the proper administration of the city's finances and coordination of services, the residents would not continue receiving the quantity and quality services that they are used to. Since 2004, under Finance Director David Bailey, we have used a business model that includes realistic budgeting, which has been accurate within 4 to 5% of actual revenues and expenses, and we do forecasting in 5 and 10-year blocks. We streamlined operations without reducing services. And along with the financial policies that we established, the city received from Standard & Poor's a AA+ rating. Quoting Standard & Poor's, income in the city are, in our opinion, strong, with median household effective buying income at 125% of the national levels. Market values have decreased 7.6% since 2010, but remain strong at $61,638 per capita. The city posted a $248,000 surplus in fiscal year 2011, bringing the unreserved general fund balance to $2 million, or, in our view, a very strong 113.81% of expenditures. Munroe Falls' overall net debt burden is, in our opinion, low at 0.5% of market value, and very low at $311 per capita. We have been able to provide more services and increase savings without asking the residents to pay any more taxes, and I do not see an increase in what residents will pay in the foreseeable future. Like all cities around us, the majority of revenues come from income tax. Mrs. Ann DeCola is the Director of Community and Economic Development for Munroe Falls and works with our businesses to maintain and expand our revenue base. Businesses that find a home in Munroe Falls tend to stay in Munroe Falls. We are blessed with a stable occupancy rate of commercial property at 90+%. In 2013, we had 6 new businesses located in Munroe Falls, and the City Council authorized $50,000 funding to the CIC. In 2014, we are excited to see several new developments. The former bank on the corner of Munroe Falls Avenue and Route 91 is scheduled to be demolished, and a new retail building has been approved by the Planning Commission. Also, the new owner of Triple Crown Restaurant is planning on opening in 2014, with the possibility of a new retail construction on that property. There is one other new development that's in the very early stages, and I'm sorry, but at this time it needs to remain unnamed. And all this and more is why Munroe Falls is a great place to call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, report from Law Director. Jen?
I just have one thing. At the last council meeting, Mr. Stahl had asked whether or not we had provided a letter to Chief Rick Meyer regarding his termination.
Right, we all got a copy of it.
Oh, did you? Okay, I'm sorry. I brought them, passed them out, so you all have it. And that's the only thing I have to report on.
Any questions for Jen?
Just a quick one, you know, the mill race,
Yes.
do we have a game plan for that? I mean, you know, it goes back and forth with the Army Corps of Engineers, and it just seems like, you know, not a lot's happening on that.
Yes, we do have a game plan, and the first objective that we need to overcome is obtaining from the county the SEP funds that were supposed to be deposited into Munroe Falls account. That will be the first step towards us addressing that problem. Not that we are going to utilize those funds for that purpose, because we don't believe it is an obligation of the city. But we want those funds paid into Munroe Falls so that the county does not utilize those funds with an argument that they used our SEP funds to orchestrate the backfill of the mill race. So we want our funds first, then we will deal with backfilling the mill race.
Does the EPA have to approve that distribution of the SEP funds from the county, or not? I mean, I don't know.
Well, according to the consent order, the county should have already deposited those funds into Munroe Falls account. I sent a letter to Debbie Motz less than 30 days ago, and she responded promptly and said that she was still waiting on Rick Zawiski to approve those funds being deposited with Munroe Falls. Frankly, those funds, in my humble opinion, should have been deposited with Munroe Falls 3 years ago. The mayor had worked with the Ohio EPA to identify projects that would benefit the city through the use of those SEP funds, and under that consent order, the city had a certain period of time within which to actually utilize those funds. Thankfully, we've been able to encourage the court to amend the order, because if we had lived under the order as it was originally written, and with the delay that the county put in depositing the SEP funds, we would have already run out of time to even use the funds. So as we sit here now, we have additional time to utilize those funds for programs that we had already submitted to the EPA and had already been approved, which were principally designed to help us control, redirect, assist in the management of stormwater problems that we have every spring or whenever we have a big storm like we had up on Route 91, as we all remember. But those funds are still being held. The county has not released them, and I am communicating with the county on a regular basis to get that done. If there comes a point in time that it's obvious that it's not happening, and then you might say, well, isn't it obvious already? Yes, it has been. We've gone back to court now twice. I don't want to file another contempt against the county if they're willing to, and according to Debbie Motz, who is a legal counsel to the exec, they are leaning on Mr. Zawiski, so we'll wait and see. We won't wait and see. I'm working on it, but we will see what happens, how quickly.
And Mr. Zawiski's with the EPA?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, President of Council, our next regular council meeting to be held Tuesday, March 4th, 2014 at 7 o'clock. Director of Finance.
I have no report.
Service Director. We have a motion to surplus the following equipment. Okay. We're asking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to surplus the equipment that is listed, a 1996 Grasshopper 718 mower, 1998 Grasshopper 720 mower, 1987 755 backhoe, and a 1991 Ford F-350 dump truck.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Mr. Toth?
Yes.
Mr. Gizzi?
Yes.
Mr. Pitts? Yes. Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Dignon?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes. Motion carried. On to Police Chief, Mayor Larson.
Let me just back up on the service director. Probably a lot of people have noticed on the news that there are many communities that are having trouble with salt, or lack of salt. And as of this morning, when I talked to the service director, we're still in good shape. We had trucks out all weekend. That they indicated our overtime's a little up right now, but years past it was down, so it sort of catches up with us. But right now all the trucks are running, knock on wood. We just got one back on the road, the newest one, it was under warranty. Trouble is we can't, unless it's a hydraulic line or something that we can fix, when these new computerized trucks break, we really can't fix them. So, but those we're in good shape, and the roads are clear right now. Police Chief, nothing new to report. Business as usual. He did have a training session and a meet and greet Saturday, so everybody has met the chief, and they had a short training session. Fire chief, they had a slow weekend. Thank goodness. We need that every once in a while. And I think next month the committee reports that they'll have some show and tell stuff, which will be interesting. So unless there's any questions.
Did we, any more water line breaks? We had in early February, and good with that?
We've had several water line breaks. We had two, when we got that warm spell, was that 3 weeks ago?
The
We
first
had
of February, we had the first
up
and
on
second.
Richards.
Yeah.
We had one on premise. We had two on Richard, one on premise. And we probably will have some more. The freeze is going deeper than what we experienced probably in the last 6-8 years. This is we're handling it.
Were we able to get the people on North River some
one house has a jumper to supply water because he will not sign a release, and the company will not hook on until he signs a release. And that, so they're
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Next, reports of committees. We'll start with Community and Economic Development. Our next Community Economic Development meeting will be Tuesday, March 11th, 2014 at 6:30 p.m. Just some updates. Today was the Stowe Munroe Falls Chamber of Commerce meeting, and I know the mayor was going to do his State of the City. My comment was he did a real nice job, and so did Stowe's mayor. Mayor Drew did State of the City of Stowe, and both of them did a nice job. And some interesting things were pointed out. Some upcoming events this weekend. Stowe High School, the junior class play will be going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. An event in a nearby city, just on response, and sometimes how old you are may relate to this, but the city of Kent had a Beatles celebration last weekend, and huge success. They had like 13 or 15 venues that had either live bands or karaoke. Every place was packed. The Kent stage brought in a Hard Day's Night, a Beatle tribute band, and I've never heard of this, that they had sold it out. They turned away over 300 people that night. Pretty impressive. Did a real nice job on that. Just a little tidbit of Iona's information. Paul McCartney's wife, as we all know, that passed away, Linda Eastman from the Eastman Kodak family. Her parents, I found out recently, they're from New York originally. They lived in Shaker Heights, Ohio, so there's a Northeastern Ohio connection with the Beatles there. And I don't know if I presume they probably passed away, but I didn't know they lived in Shaker Heights. Getting back to today's meeting with the Stowe Munroe Falls Chamber, a couple things about Stowe that affect us. That's going on. Since you heard what's happening in Munroe Falls from the mayor, I won't reiterate any of that. The big deal in Stowe is the Stowe-Kent Shopping Center / commercial residential development. They're going to be spending between $17 and $18 million of having developers come in. Stowe's only invested about $10,000 in the project. They've got outside money. They're going to put some upscale housing, like around 130 to 35 units. Excuse me. Some row housing. Some different styles. They want to draw young professionals to the area. They've eliminated that Taco Bell. That's going to be a pizza place. I forget which chain is going in there. Other projects they have that we're concerned with, they're going to be working on their water lines on the borderline of Stowe and Munroe Falls. And the Grand Road project with Cauga Falls, which a lot of us travel. They'll be working on that hard and heavy. Hopefully they want to start, subject to the weather, beginning of March, and work on that. They had a huge addition, commitment, expansion of Anderson International. They're going to build an additional 24,000 square foot for their facility. And a big update that we're involved with, and anyone in the city of Munroe Falls hopefully will participate, the Stowe Munroe Falls Chamber Showcase, which will be at Stowe High School beginning of April. As far as vendors at the event, this is the first time in the history of doing it, they're sold out. All the spaces are taken. So they're very excited. Their numbers are they draw close to 10,000 people over the couple days at Stowe High School there. So the City of Munroe Falls will be participating. We'll discuss that at the committee meetings. They let us know that Stowe's the third largest city population-wise. They're around just a little under 35,000. Third largest city in Sutton County. Our figure, according to Mayor Larson, is around 5,013, correct? Down a little bit. And the last thing I'll mention, I brought up before, and I got a chance to talk to a couple of judges and law enforcement people about coordinating a program. I'm going to talk to our new police chief. Got some information to bring a couple people in about the heroin epidemic and awareness program that's available to the community, and stay tuned for more details. We're just in the initial planning stages. Probably have something at the library or Leonard Center, and I'll work with the mayor and the administration on putting that together with the date and the Treasurers. That's all I have for this evening. Any questions? Thank you. Next, Finance and Audit.
The Finance and Audit met earlier this evening. We reviewed outstanding check register 1-2C. A couple of questions on some capital items there, in particular the engineering for the water line on Castle and Game, as well as some of the capital improvements we've seen around the City Hall. Painting is apparently done, and carpet and tiles to come. We did not have a bank reconciliation statement to review with our month-end reports, so we'll get that probably at our next meeting. We'll approve it at that point in time. There were a couple of other month-end reports that we did review: general fund revenue, the 2014 budget statement, and the cash and investment statement. There was no mayor's court report. Again, that is also pending, so we'll do that at our next meeting as well. There is no police academy in session at this point. We did review our miscellaneous net income report, which includes cash park, lane park, and payment unit. I would once again acknowledge the receipt of the all revenue, all funds, the revenue and expense reports, so if anyone wants to see those. And then we also had a brief discussion on proposed resolution 07-2014 for second reading this evening. That is for the dump truck. I think, we might as well just pass it as emergency legislation. I mean, or is there, when we talked last time with Jim Bauer, it sounded like that was something that you might want to.
You seem like it's emergency when you spoke to us.
Yeah.
Just concerned that we all sold out if that's the way it's going, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's no longer delay to get it if we wait.
We've had a chance to do that inside of the committee, so I have no problem with that. And that concludes my report. Our next Finance and Audit meeting will be Tuesday, March the 4th at 6:30 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Todd.
I just have one question. Gary, I think it was during your committee, we discussed the insurance 11.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. Yes. And that is, and I don't have the number in front of me.
It's
11-2014. That is commercial insurance, and that should be passed as emergency legislation.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, on to General Government Services, Mr. Hangout.
Yes, we met last Tuesday on 11. Chief Browery had a report we discussed earlier today. We had 2 water line breaks early February due to the weather, but he's also investigating more of a cause of that and what's to be done and whatnot. AMR program, we sent the draft specs with Mr. Morrison, is that correct?
And they've been returned to him.
Okay.
I already made all the necessary changes, so he now has them.
Okay, perfect. As Mayor Larson spoke earlier today, with the waterline program, engineering waterline possible as well, with Castle Gay Drive for the placement of that. We also discussed new meters that are being installed, with when they're needing to be installed, so we're doing that as we speak, if I'm not mistaken. And we also discussed about the new truck earlier today. We need to get that passed, and that needs to be done. Mr. Mayor Larson, was there an email server down the last couple of days? I got some reports that.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Is that resolved then, or?
Yes.
Not entirely.
Well, there's an issue related to the police car connection.
Okay.
Laptops and police car.
Okay.
It's going to be working on the rest of the situations fixed.
Okay. Perfect. Sure. Webpage, so we're on that. We'll be up and running soon. We really do with the money we owe by the county, 90,000 plus. We did fresh painting and carpeting, or not carpeting yet, but carpeting soon, flooring. Just a reminder, on February 26th, Mr. Morrison will be in Columbus discussing our fracking issues we're having. Hopefully that'll pass and your fingers crossed.
And that's available to be watched on the internet. You can log on to Supreme Court, you can watch it live.
That concludes my report.
Any discussion or questions?
I just had one on Sunshine Law. We were supposed to get dates
one happened the 14th, 25th one in Columbus, 14th was in Akron, and our Cleveland of this month. It's already happened. 25th of this month is in Columbus, and I believe